In a fast-moving digital world, the images you present to the world have the power to convert browsers into paying customers. This talk will empower you to step in front of the camera to create brand photos that align with your business goals and up-level your business. Listen to hear more about Amanda Hutchinson, who started out in wedding photography and became a branding photographer. She loves to tell a story, and our chat was beautiful today. Hello, you're listening to the Courageous Goals podcast. This podcast is for high-achieving, courageous women who want growth and the know-how to scale their business online. Running a business is a journey and a process. The more we learn in action, the more we succeed. If you're a woman in business, this is the podcast for you. Be in the 5% of businesses that make it. Let's get bold and create the life we desire. I'm bringing my passion to you through advice, coaching, inspiration, and support to help you create and design the life and business you want to live. I am a Dubsado expert, CPD certified in social media platforms, and a lover of admin systems and processes. I am an accredited ICF coach, specialising in trauma and narcissism. My own coaching journey has supported my growth immensely, and I want to share those highlights with you to inspire and give you courage. Let's get intentional with our goals and make them happen. Let's get started. Hello, so welcome to the Courageous Goals podcast, and today we have Amanda Hutchinson, who is a branding photographer. Is that right, Amanda?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. So she's a photographer who loves to tell a story, and I'm really keen to hear more because I believe she used to work in the wedding industry or still does both. But Amanda, I'll let you introduce yourself and we can go from there.
Yeah, so thank you very much for having me. So I run AKP Branding Stories, which is brand photography, but I did start life in the photography world in the wedding industry as a wedding photographer, and I think that's really where the storytelling came from. And I found that lots of wedding suppliers weren't getting any of those behind the scenes images of them at a wedding, and I was just sending them through once I'd done the gallery edit, and it kind of just grew from there. And I then sort of moved into all sorts of entrepreneurs and all sorts of industries, and it I love the variety, and I'm kind of transitioning away from wedding photography as the kind of business evolves. But you know, it's just so much fun working with lots and lots of different business owners, and getting to show what their business and their story is through the pictures. So yeah.
Okay, so how did you come up with the name of your business, and how would you describe what you do day to day, if you like, so what it looks like for each process when you work with someone?
Yeah, so the name Branding Stories literally came about because I was like, well, I'm telling a story of brands and it sort of does what it says on the tin. There was no kind of creative like vision that came. It was just well, I'm Amanda Karen Photography, which is my wedding side, so that was the AKP bit, and then Branding Stories was, well, that's what I'm doing, I'm telling your branding story. So my process is really about getting to know the person behind the business. So right from that first consultation, we're talking about who your ideal client is, what are your marketing goals and strategy for the year, like what are you launching, you know, how does that align with who you are as a person, what your marketing value, your brand values are, and always coming then back to that ideal client, because that then all feeds into what the shoot needs to do. So you know, the locations that you pick, the clothes that you wear, the props that you're using, all need to talk to that ideal client. So it's a very collaborative approach that we are, you know, sharing Pinterest board, we have planning call, and then I put all that together in a shoot guide so that you know, you don't have anything to worry about before the start of the shoot, because it's nervy being in front of the camera, right? Most people don't love being in front of the camera, and I found, so my corporate job was in crisis management. And one of the things is, a lot of the stress and lack of confidence people have around doing something is that they're not prepared for it. And that was certainly the case in kind of crisis, and it's the same in having a shoot or being visible or going on, kind of putting yourself out there. The more you are prepared, and so you know what you're packing to bring to your shoot, you know what you're wearing, you know what props you need, you know that I'm going to tell you what to do with your hands and what to do with your face and how to stand and all of that. It takes a lot of those nerves away, so that when you get to the shoot, you can be you and show up as the real you, which then comes through on the photos, and you don't have all of that tension like sitting in your jaw. You've got that sparkle then that's coming through on the camera and engaging with your ideal client. So that process that we go through up until shoot day is all about making sure that you can turn up on the day feeling as confident as you can be, especially if it's your first shoot. It's still going to be a bit weird, but it's all of that preparation that then comes through on the day.
Yeah, you make it sound so easy.
I've been doing it a while. So for me it is, and that's, it's my job to take all of that stress away from my clients so that they can just turn up and not have to worry about anything, so that it becomes easier for them. Because once you start feeling more comfortable in front of the camera, then you'll start feeling more comfortable doing lives or going on stories and just generally being visible in your business, which then helps you get your message out more, and it helps you show up for your clients more. So yeah, it is easy for me to do it for other people.
Yeah.
It's still nervy for me to do.
I was going to say, do you enjoy having yours done?
I mean, I work with an amazing photographer, so yes, it is good fun on shoot day, but it still feels weird. I just have to kind of let go of those inhibitions a little bit and just trust the process.
Yeah, I can totally relate to what you're saying, because
Yeah.
when I had my shoot, I was just so nervous, and I did multiple like shopping trips, and I bought this, bought that, took that back, and like changed everything. I finally was ready to do it after preparing for so long. But it's true what you say, like preparing, it really gives you the confidence, because if you're so unprepared, you don't know what to expect, and it just doesn't work, does it? You need to be prepared.
And also I think if you just turn up to a shoot without any of that prep work, yes, you may still turn out with awesome photos, but they might not then actually align with what you need them to do. So if you're launching something, then you'll know what images that you need for that. You'll know that you'll need certain banner images, you'll need some with negative space, you might need some with expressions as you take somebody through a sales page. But if you haven't done that planning work, you could end up with a whole load of very lovely photos of you, but they're all in portrait mode. Or they don't have the right props and they're not telling the right story to then use in your marketing. So then you've just got a lot of nice pictures to look at of yourself, but they don't actually then help you in your business. So that's why the prep side is such a big part of the shoot.
Yeah, definitely. So what sort of clients do you work with, Amanda?
Well, that's the beauty. So many different industries. Like this week alone, on Tuesday, I started the morning with a home organizer in a really beautiful shoot house. And then in the afternoon, I was photographing a plastic surgeon. And then this afternoon, I'm photographing a VIP event for a sales coach. So it's just so varied. I get to work with so many different industries that it's always keeping me fresh and creative, and everybody comes with their own different take on their business and what they do. Even if I work with 5 or 6 nutritionists, they all have something different about them. Worked with a nutritionist last month, and one of the things that she's going to be doing is equine therapy for people with eating disorders. So we brought horses into the shoot. Never brought horses into a nutritionist shoot before. So it's so varied, and that's what makes it so exciting, is I can work with a whole breadth of different business owners.
Yeah, sounds it. That must be really really exciting, doing such varied work with different people like that. It's really good. Okay, so what motivates you in your business?
Oh, it's a hard one, isn't it? So many different things. My clients are a big motivator for me, because I love seeing how they go from being nervous in front of the camera to, by the end of the shoot, really enjoying it. And then once they get their images, seeing them like out in the wild and how they get to use them. But also it's just being my own boss, having worked in the corporate world, and in local authority before that. I just don't think I like being managed by other people. Like, I love the freedom of having my own business, and that is a big motivator because I'm doing something that I love. So that gets me out of bed and in front of my laptop in the morning, even if I've been up all in the night because I've got a little one. Like, I'm still buzzing to then get to work, whereas I think if I was still in my old job, that would be a hard slog. So it's definitely being my own boss.
So you're in the right place now.
Then.
Okay, so who or what has supported you the most whilst starting your business and continuing running it? Because I think you've been in business over 5 years, is that right?
But yeah, I started the business in 2014.
Okay.
So actually it's been quite a while. I don't know if you can count the COVID year as a year. Being a photographer anyway, there wasn't a lot of work going on that year, so maybe we'll take that one out. But yeah, I started the business in 2014, and as cliched as it sounds, my biggest supporter has been my husband Hutch. I wouldn't have even started the business if it wasn't for him, and him saying you need to stop playing with this logo and just publish the website. And the first website was, it was definitely looked homemade, and it's all evolved since then, but he has been my biggest cheerleader throughout the whole process. And then along the way, I've had industry friends within the wedding industry who've become really big supporters, especially Lisa and Philippa. Like, they are such big cheerleaders of mine. And then through the brand photography, lots of clients have become really good friends, and it's just like having this online, sometimes in person community that just keep you going, because it could be very lonely actually if you're as a photographer, because I'm either behind the camera or I'm sat on my laptop. It's only when I'm on shoots that I'm with other people. So there's just been so many people that have supported me through this.
And I think, like, I always say this to people, that the people you're surrounded by, it definitely influences your business, good and bad. I've met so many people along the way, and I've either realized, I'd like to follow her because I think she has a good work ethic or whatever it is, and then there's other people who I know that, actually I couldn't work like that, or I don't like the way they do this, so I know that I won't do things that way. You learn lots of different things along the way. But your community around you is so important, because, like you say, one, it can be really lonely, so you need that network, but also if you end up working with these people, they'll refer you on because they've worked with you, they know what it's like to get your service. So it's a huge thing, your network around you. Okay.
There's a quote or something, isn't there? It's like, you are the sum or the result of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Yes. Yeah. So what's unique about you and your business?
I guess like any business, what makes you unique is you. And so the way I see people's brand and their personality and how I translate that into the photos is going to be different to how other photographers do. And I think possibly the sort of level of planning that I go into can be a lot more detailed than some other photographers who are a lot more free flowing, and that works really well for their business, and planning works really well for my business. But I think it's probably just personality, like it's me that makes my business different, the way that you make your business different to the people who are in your field.
And I think I forgot what I was going to say there, Amanda. what are the secrets to your success? And don't forget that like success is so different for everybody. So what are the secrets to your success that you feel is your success, if you like?
So success for me is definitely about having the flexibility in my life. The job role I was in before was all consuming. I traveled a lot, which yes was fun, but it was never at times that were kind of my choice. And so the business I've built now is I can set the days that I do shoots. I have the flexibility to work when I want, with who I want, and where I want as well. I get to travel all over the place with my shoots, and a lot of that has come from building a business and a reputation that I feel so lucky and so fortunate that people want to work with me. And I've had people say that oh, you're on my goal list, which just blows my mind. And I think that success just comes from building those relationships and treating my clients how I would want to be treated, and nurturing that, and kind of becoming known in my field, and having those amazing referrals. And that has allowed me then to build the business that works the way I want it to work. And obviously then that comes about with the sort of the other areas of business success that people look for. So it's been able to substitute the income that I had before and have that financial success. So but I would say the thing that has made that happen is through that relationship building, and the way I work and treat my clients. I've got a lot of repeat clients, and they refer me on, and that's what's made the business. It's my clients, it's them.
Yeah, that's lovely. Okay, so what do you want to achieve next? Is there anything that you'd like to share with people that might be listening to this, that's coming up for you that you'd like to shout about?
The big one is we are moving house. The goal is then to have Hutch join me in the business, so that actually this sort of freedom that I've got within the business can be shared by him. And so if we then want to do a bit more traveling with our son, we can, whereas at the moment we're tied to his days of annual leave. So that's a big goal, and a big thing that we're hoping to happen. And then it's just a lot of it is things that are coming up shoot wise. So I've been beta testing a destination shoot experience. So we did a day in Paris with a couple of amazing friends and clients to try how that was going to work. I've got some new stock photography things coming out. I mean, 2023 is going to be quite a big year, I think. This year has been kind of still recovering a bit from COVID, but also having had a baby, so getting back into the swing of things like that. It's been a roller coaster of a year. So 2023 for me is a big year to kind of push some of those projects that I've had sitting in the back of my brain. So that's really what's coming up.
Yeah, that sounds really exciting. I look forward to seeing it all.
Me too.
I bet. Okay, so for other women that are listening to this who might be starting or growing a business, what would be your top tips that you would give them?
Back yourself. You have to believe in yourself. It took me a long time to get to that point, but there comes a point where you have to just trust that you can do this. And it doesn't have to be perfect before you hit publish. Just start doing the thing that you love. Get out there, start pushing it, because you will make it, and that passion will show through, and that is what people will be attracted to. Don't hide behind, oh well, I don't have this website quite ready, or I don't have my logo quite ready. Just get out there, start talking to your ideal clients on social media, and get visible, as scary as it is. And I'm still not a particularly visible photographer, but I started before you needed to do a lot of this stuff, so I'm playing catch up on that. but just back yourself, believe that you can do it, because you need to be your own cheerleader as well as having amazing people around you.
Yeah. And I think some people might be listening to that thinking, oh, it's so easy to say those things, because I do actually say that quite a lot as well. You know, you really need to be visible. But I remember the first time I went live, and oh my gosh, I was so scared. Like the anxiety going through me was unbelievable. But now I still sometimes get anxious. It depends like on my mood, but I love going live now, because I feel like people can listen to my passion, like they can hear where I'm at, and they genuinely can see how much I love supporting women. So it really makes a difference when you're actually visible and people can see you. They feel like they connect with you and they know you. So yeah, that's a huge like top tip, definitely, for anyone in business. Just go for it. You know, it's only you that can make it happen.
And also, just don't watch them back. I don't.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I never watch back anything that I do live, because I just know that it'll make me want to curl up into a little ball and cringe.
Yeah.
But I have to do it, and then I just close the window and go and do something else and not think about it, because it is like, I still find it really, really nervy being in front of the camera. It's fine on a shoot, but anything that's live or recorded, I find really nerve-wracking. Because we're conditioned to not put ourselves out there, and so being a business owner goes against all of that, and you have this, you kind of have this fear of doing it. And I remember hearing Danny Wallace speak, and she was saying, it's a rational fear. Like our brains think, well, we need to keep you safe. If I do this scary thing, then I'm going to get eaten. It's a evolutionary thing, and so that fear is there to keep you safe, but actually there's nothing that it needs to keep you safe from. Like, you're not going to get eaten by a shark. Like, what's going to happen is that more people are going to see how amazing you are, and they're going to listen to it and go, do you know what, I really needed to hear that today, or I really need this person in my life, in my business, to help me. And actually, if you think about it, and I probably should take my own advice on this, is like, you owe it to your clients to be visible, because you can help more people if they know that you exist.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And it's funny, because I did a video the other day, and I think I was I in the living room or somewhere? Anyway, I walked into the kitchen. All of a sudden I could hear my voice. My partner stood there watching my video, and I'm like, oh my gosh, turn it off. So yeah, I totally freaked out. I don't like hearing myself back. It's
I mean,
that's not fun.
My husband's on the next desk next to me working, and I've told him to put noise cancelling headphones on, because I don't want him listening, because it would just weird me out. So he sat there completely oblivious
that's
to what I'm saying.
Right, okay, so Amanda, where can people connect with you, find you, and if they want a shoot, where can they find you?
So I'm on Instagram, Facebook. It's AKP Branding Stories, all one word. Same for the website, akpbrandingstories.co.uk. And I try and show behind the scenes on a shoot. I've got someone who does my reels, Paula. She's incredible, and she always says to me, did you do any behind the scenes? And what normally happens is I turn up at a shoot and go, hey, I'm here, and then at the end of the shoot I'm like, oh, I haven't done any more here. The shoot is now finished, I had a great time. So I am getting better, and I need to hold myself accountable. So maybe this podcast will do that. Like, I will try and show more behind the scenes, so that you can see what goes on a shoot, because I think the more you see, the less scary it becomes as well, because you know then what's going on. But you'll usually find me hanging out on Instagram more than Facebook.
Okay, that's great. Well, I've loved talking to you today, Amanda.
Too.
And I can't wait, because you're going to do a masterclass, aren't you, in our group this month?
I am, yes.
Next month even. It's the end of September.
Yeah, we're not quite in October, are we?
No, it feels like we should be.
Yeah, it's cold enough.
But yes, I'm looking forward to that. So thank you so much for joining me today. And yeah, if anyone else is feeling brave and they'd like to join me on the podcast very soon, then please do let me know, either contact me in the group or via the website. And yes, thank you very much, Amanda. And
thank you for having me.
Have a good day.
And you.
Thank you so much for listening to the Courageous Goals podcast. I really hope you've enjoyed today's episode and taken something of value for you. If you'd love more advice, coaching, inspiration and support, head on over to join many other courageous women in business in our free community group over on Facebook. We'd love to welcome you. You can also find free useful resources over on the website at leannebrown.com/resources. Right, that's all for this week. I look forward to sharing another episode with you next week.